Welcome to Talking Peace with the Western New York Peace Center, being recorded here live and on WBNY, Buffalo's original alternative radio station coming out of Buffalo State University. We are very grateful to our producer, Greg Harvey, who's here.
Good afternoon. I almost said morning again. Good afternoon.
Well, we just crossed the border
That's
over
right.
into the day, into
That's
the
right.
afternoon. So we're so grateful to you, Greg, and to WBNY and Buffalo State. And we also want to give a shout out to our friends at Think Twice Radio. That's Richard Wicca. It's in the home of the future, and that is also the home of Richard Wicca, our other producer. And so we're grateful to Think Twice Radio. And also, when I think of gratitude, I do think of our Indigenous friends and our BIPOC friends, really Black, Indigenous, and people of color, and really everyone who knows that thankfulness and gratitude is such a key need, really, for us to appreciate what we do have and all the beauty that we have going on. And they start the Haudenosaunee, which we are on stolen Haudenosaunee land that was taken by violence and lies, really, trickery by the people making treaties, broken promises, and everything else that Indigenous people have faced and still dealing with. But anyway, that they still start out everything with a Ganonyo, or Thanksgiving address, which thanks the people who made the gathering possible, thanks Mother Earth for giving us everything we need, thanks all of our different elements, in the plants and animals, the trees, all of which are so essential and so wonderful in the creation and the sky world, and the creator and the love that makes it all possible. So then the people say Nyahweh. The leader says Nyahweh, and the people say Nyo or Je. So Nyahweh.
Nyo.
Thank you. And I want to introduce our topic and our other guest and friend of the show, and just plain friend. So first, the topic is No Kings. Well, let me say first, Brian Harrell. Brian, thanks for coming.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, thanks so much for coming in. And I know, you're actually studying here at Buff State, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Diligently.
And what are you studying?
Political science and communication.
Oh, good. And that's all very, very central to our topic here. So our topic today is No Kings. So No Kings means, first of all, this is a democracy. It's not enough of a democracy. That's why we love Democracy Now!, which is also aired on our wonderful WBNY. And I want to say the Peace Center was part of making that happen, so we were very grateful for that. But we don't have as much democracy as we need, even before the current regime. But Trump has gotten things on a whole nother level. So this gradual increasing power to the executive has gotten so out of control. It is truly, truly outrageous, extremely dangerous, totally crazy. But now let me tell you what I really think. No, it's just unthinkable what's going on. So we can talk about some of the reasons for the No Kings and all the problems that are going on with the wars outside and inside. The government-sponsored violence that's happening, and that's one of our campaigns at the Western New York Peace Center, Stop Government-Sponsored Violence. But anyway, and the other part of it is the No Kings rallies. So the No Kings rallies, I was just checking on some of it. The No Kings rallies, we have one in Niagara Square this coming Saturday at 11, from 11 to 1 in Niagara Square. That's in front of City Hall. In case, we do have other squares, but that's the one right in front of City Hall. And there'll be a march as well. So we'll be hearing more of the details on that. But
I've attended both previous No Kings protests, and I have to say, as serious as the content of what we're protesting is, That's not really a reflection of the environment. They're really almost fun. I mean,
Right.
Everyone there is just there because they want their communities to be safer and less power to be taken away from them. And some really quirky, awesome people show up.
Right.
People dressed like the Statue of Liberty. People dressed like women dressed like Thomas Jefferson, and the Founding Fathers and stuff like that. It's really it's like a big barbecue with all your neighbors that want the country to be a better place. It's a great environment, and I encourage anyone and everyone who can make it to make it.
It is a family-friendly environment. It is fun. There'll be lots of music, too. And it's, actually, I think emotionally it goes the gamut. So it just feels so good to be there and to stand up for what you believe in. And I'm going to say this is 3.0 of the large ones. But 5051, 5051 group was the one who started it. And they had a few that were shepherded here locally by Power to the People, which is now a task force of the Western New York Peace Center. So I'm proud to say that. So those were a lot smaller, and they also didn't have a permit. That's one
fantastic.
Will have a permit. It'll be we had something like 10,000 people last time.
Yeah, it was huge.
It was huge. It was huge, and it was just exhilarating to have that kind of people power.
Yeah.
I think about
the current mayor, Sean Ryan, was at the first one as
Sure.
well.
Sure. Yeah.
So,
He very well may have been at the second one. I'm going to say we've also been tending to not, it's really a community event more than anything. So, feel, and certainly it's a nonviolent event. I mean, it's all about nonviolence. I want to say shout out to Indivisible, MoveOn.org, ACLU, and other groups. Locally, we have our own Buffalo United Coalition, which is heading up the planning, and the Western New York Peace Center is part of it, but we're just one part of it, and there's something like 40 or more groups that are co-sponsoring and helping out. There'll also be some tabling, I think. But the big thing I want to say is the No Kings thing is so important because our whole Constitution, imperfect as it was and is, was very clear and mentioned the ways that we need to get people out. That the executive, they had balance of power, the shared power between the executive, the legislative, and the judicial branches of government, all of that. But so, I'm so excited about this topic. Plus, this is going to be a call-in show. So we're going to take call-ins, and that's coming right up. So before we even get to that, let us just say, when we think of No Kings, what are the values that we think of? So I'll just go like the Haudenosaunee, counterclockwise. So Brian and then Greg, what do you think of for values about No Kings?
Well, so Second Treaty of Government, John Locke, the entire case of the book he was writing, which is the foundation for our revolution in our society, that John Locke is. He's kind of like where the Founding Fathers got a lot of their inspiration from. He was writing against a British political philosopher named Robert Filmer, who wrote a book called Patriarcha, which argued that because the king could trace his lineage back to Adam, that was why he deserved to rule over the British subjects. That was the case. And John Locke used the same logic against him and said, well, we can all trace our roots back to Adam. So
Yay.
What that actually means is that no one deserves inherently to rule over anyone. We're all created equal, and
Right.
God created the world for us to share in common. This is the exact argument that John Locke used to dismantle the British monarchy and inspire the democratic revolution that we've had in this country. So when I hear No Kings, that's what it is. Just because you're wearing a suit and you're in office does not mean you get to usurp the political power of the people that are living and working and running the country.
Right. Right. So really, all of that is like equality. Just what you said.
Absolutely.
We all trace our, so we all have that sovereignty. So it's the people. So it's just so beautiful. Thank you for all of that. So you got this political science student. That's how you know all that stuff. And Greg, what's some values that you think of?
Basically, letting your voices be heard.
Mm-hmm.
A show of, I don't want to use the word force, but a show of, hey, we're out here, we really do care, and we'd appreciate it if you would listen to what we have to say, and then perhaps you'll come to, quote unquote, our side.
Right. Well, it's so important, and there's just so much to talk about. So I'm very excited to have this call-in show. I want to say, for my part, I do think of truth and love, as usual. As Dr. King said, that truth and love will have the final word in reality. So that's what we're working towards. And the truth is that, as you said, we're all created equal, and also there's the rights of creation. And we were founded, as you said, with all that idea, that John Locke is so key. And the other part I think of is the Haudenosaunee, who there were pieces of the Great Law of Peace that were used, and the organizing of the Haudenosaunee Confederacy that also led, to the Constitution and to our revolution and to our current mode of government. Now, I want to say there are all kinds of parts that were left out, too, that shouldn't have been. I want to say, especially as an older woman, that the older women really had the deciding factor on so many things. So there's lots of indigenous wisdom that we're only just beginning and hopefully, prayerfully, truly in earnest going to be emulating and using, and I won't get off onto things like the stamp project and so many topics where, the need to not have data centers or go crazy with AI, all the indigenous wisdom that there is, but the main thing being, that the truth of the matter, that we share this world and this creation with the whole rest of the creation and with each other, and so we're responsible to each other. And so the common good is just so important. And that is what is not being attended to at all. That truth, in the current regime, the truth is not there. There are lies, rampant with lies, and love, which is what we need of care. That's the reason for the activism, because we care about each other and for ourselves and for our families and for our community and for the world, really. That we should be acting with compassion and consideration, and also what hurts our friends and neighbors hurts us as well. So, and Absolutely. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere, and the injustices that are going on are just so rampant. So,
go ahead. I think you could make the argument that every administration, at least in modern history, stretches the truth quite a bit, sure. Especially when they're addressing the American people. But it really is an unprecedented level of just open deception. Exactly. Just the running to Europe and running to China and begging them to help us in the Iranian war, and then that day going on television saying we won, it's a total victory. Yeah. The statements were hours apart. Yeah. It's really, it makes you question your sanity. If you, I'm a political junkie. I can't help but tune in to all this stuff, mm-hmm. but it really makes me question my own sanity. The level of gaslighting is the term of the year, but
right,
yeah, it's something for sure.
It's crazy. Greg, anything you want to add? Because I go ahead.
No, not at the moment.
Oh, because I
was too busy listening to Brian.
They all said no, by the way.
Right.
Europe and China,
right.
And the rest of the world said, you made your bed, you gonna lay in it for this one.
And plus, it was so, what I've been saying, illegal, clearly illegal under international law and under our own current law, which I'm going to say in our Constitution, the Supremacy Clause says that all of our treaties and agreements are of equal force with the Constitution, are supreme and of equal force with the Constitution. So it's completely in violation. I want to direct people to an article in Mondaweiss that Craig McIver wrote that just spells out exactly how illegal it is in so very many ways. Plus, he's doing all kinds of things that are against our own laws, plenty. So all of that, that's why people so it's the whole threat to the world, all the violence being wreaked on the world, and all the violence that's being wreaked here, where ICE agents are going, masked, and attacking people, taking people who are just a madness, a real madness, a frenzy of arresting and deporting law-abiding citizens. It's just a crazy citizens or non-citizens who are on the way to becoming citizens, who are following everything we've asked. Just a craziness. So I just want to say, this is a call-in show, okay? We have plenty to say, but we know you do too, and we want to hear from you. So the call-in number is 716-878-5104, 716-878-5104.
And just so our listeners understand, we only have one phone line incoming here. So if you're trying to call and you're getting a busy signal, that means somebody else has already dialed in, and we're on the air with them. Be patient, keep trying, and hopefully you'll get through.
Thanks. And then the other thing is, for those of you who are calling in, we love to have you call in. The only thing I'd say is try to think about what you really want to say and keep it on the shortish side, because as you could see, any one of us could go on, and there's so much, there's just so much. So try to boil it down if you can, because we want to hear from lots of people. And so that's the thing of keeping it moving. So on that note, I want to keep it moving. And Brian, what are your thoughts about, maybe about all of the No Kings activities? I just want to say before anything, this one we have in Niagara Square from 11 to 1 is only one of 3,000 that are happening nationwide, and there's one in Williamsville, there's different ones all over the place. Anyway, go ahead.
Well, yeah, I think it's a great movement, and I think it really, there's several issues that can be said about why they're calling it the No Kings protest, but you touched on one just moments ago. Congress has the constitutional authority to make and go to war, and the current executive is completely usurping that and, playing with the entire world's lives in order to distract from his disastrous domestic policy, of which he's been able to enact almost none of the things he got elected to do. I mean, he rode in again on a second wave of populism of, I'm going to cut your gas in half.
So-called.
Right, so-called. I'm going to cut your gas bill in half.
Groceries are going to be lower.
Prescription pills are going to be 1,500% cheaper.
I heard 1,600, 1,700.
I don't know how anything is more than 100% cheaper, because I believe that is the limit. But hey,
unless they're paying you,
if you're going to owe me money for my prescriptions, I'll take a shot on you too, I guess. And of course, it was all rubbish, and none of it was able to be enacted. And to distract from that, he's killing innocent people and putting our troops in danger.
Yes,
and a lot of it, and it's despicable and predictable. And it's a blessing to be able to get out in the street and make our voice heard that we don't approve of this. And it's also as many flaws as I'm sure we could drum up here in about the Democratic Party. There is a viable opposition party, so it'll be nice to vote this administration out when it's time to. Regardless of the fact that the work does not end there. It basically begins there.
Absolutely.
And I need to interject, of course, that the Western New York Peace Center is a 501c3. So we do not want to have in any way suggest how you should vote or weigh in on partisan things. But this is the No Kings thing is not partisan. It is about the rule of law, and it is about that we have, we have a form of government that is no kings, and that is what we just meant to get away from with the Constitution. But anyway, so
and keep in mind that I think it was 2019 or so when President Trump said that I am your president of law and order.
Yes, I remember that.
Okay, so where's the law that you're supposed to be following there, friend?
And the other thing that you made me think of is actually when you were saying, all of what Trump has done that is so dangerous for the entire planet, and certainly, for so many people really everywhere, and for the nature and the creation. Of course, there's the drill, baby drill, and all the other madness going on. That he's also, there's not only is what he's doing criminal by going against international law, domestic law, and the form of government and all of that, but also his own crimes of aplenty, which he has been convicted. He is a felon.
Right, 30 times over.
And then all the
34 times.
Epstein, which I am not obsessed with Epstein, and I mean, far from it, because it's just part and parcel of the madness of this, and of the cult that is following this individual and the people around him that are helping to make it happen, that are and when we had Trump the first time around, all I can think of is Maya Angelou, and when somebody shows you who they are, believe them.
Yeah.
So when he was tried to have a rebellion to keep power, and he said, if you vote for me, you'll never have to vote again. Now he has things that he's saying about threatening the elections. I mean, this man is he's been diagnosed as a malignant what was it called? But anyway, the elements are being sadistic, being paranoid, being a megalomaniac, a sociopath, and what was the last one? It's easy enough to check it. I mean, this is not something that was originating with me, but there were 4 elements that included being sociopath, narcissist, sadist, and paranoid. That's what they were. And so that,
sounds fun.
It's very, very, this is dangerous. And especially with somebody at the helm and then with people assisting around that character, that combination of characteristics or diagnoses. No wonder things are going so wrong. And the only thing I can say is that crisis equal to opportunity, and that with everything sort of shaking loose the way it is as it's coming apart, hopefully we can put things back together in a way that is so much more healthy and in line with truth and love, and of community and caring and the common good than we've ever had it before. That is the hope.
Yeah,
My hope.
Absolutely. At least in my life, I've noticed that the depth of my struggle gives way to the mountain peak of my testimonies. So I think humanity also follows ebbs and flows of that as well. And
sure.
I think just because we're in an ebb right now, it's almost like, what is the opportunity here? And the opportunity is everyone is waking up towards it, right?
Right.
I mean, if there is a silver lining, it's we are all painfully aware of how little guardrails there actually were this whole time. And there's concentrated effort to reform it and change it for the better and for the spread of democracy, it's a wonderful thing. I've met a lot of really wonderful people that have all been activated by this era in American politics. And,
Right.
You really see, the good color of your fellow American when this stuff gets like this.
I think back to my early voting years, late teens, early 20s.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it just seemed to be so automatic. The world just kind of happened around me, and I really didn't feel like I had too much say in it. And I would vote one way, and it didn't matter because the vast majority would just stay with the flow. But as you pointed out, Brian, I think this is it's a big mirror on our society and say, hey, you know what? Y'all got complacent, or enough of you got complacent that it's starting to fall apart, and you better pick up the pieces quickly.
Another thing, first of all, I do want to remind people again that this is a call-in show. So do feel free to call in 716-878-5104. But in the meanwhile, I also want to say it's just voting is important. I myself, anyway, I do vote. I have a hard time voting a lot of times because we don't have ranked choice voting. And by the time you're voting, your choices are extremely limited.
Right.
And so it really, voting is necessary but not sufficient. So we need to get involved really early on, involved. And I'm very glad that there are people who are involved in partisan politics, who are running for things, who are, supporting candidates, who are doing, financially or with your own, hard work, canvassing for people and things like that. All of that, talking about the issues, all of that is so important. And we, honestly, we should have we need so much reform in our actual system because money is driving things in a crazy way. The conglomeration of the media is, and every industry, including hospitals or you name it, all of those things. There's so many ways that things are sort of coagulating against the power to the people. However, we have a force more powerful. That's what I want to direct people to the movie A Force More Powerful. And so what they're talking about is nonviolent resistance. And we've done shows on that. We'll do plenty more. And that's part of what we're talking about now because what we're talking about is mass mobilization. So that is a part of it. But anyway, we need to really, work together, build our movement, our awareness, and help other people to know what's going on. Do I see that we have a call?
No, I was actually just looking
checking
up that movie you were
okay.
talking about.
Well, so thank you for
taking notes.
reminding me. Yeah, well, because my brain right now, it's when your alert system is on, the upper brain shuts down at
That's
times.
right.
So I just wanted to say about that movie, it goes over different times, and it's many times that nonviolent civil resistance has saved the day, has been the force that made the things happen. Mm-hmm. I say a force more powerful is really truth and love, too. Right. You could say that. But it's also people power. It's also, that people power is, it's power to the people. Mm-hmm. I want to say power to the people. Yes, shout out to our task force, our beloved task force that has led every No Kings rally that there's been, small and large, permitted and not permitted. But anyway, that movie talks about Gandhi and getting the British out of India, the anti-apartheid South Africa, the civil rights movement, Solidarność, which is the Polish union that really brought democracy to Poland, Denmark during the Nazi regime, and lastly, Chile was the last one. And it's just very
fascinating.
It's a wonderful. They put it in two parts because it's so long, but it's really worth watching. It's freely available. Don't buy it from Amazon or whoever's trying to sell it to you. Just look, and there's a small nonprofit that has a website, nonviolence.org or something like that. Is that the one?
The one I found was Center for Nonviolent Conflict Research.
That's it. And
CNCR.
Right. So anyway, so you can find it for free. People want people to see it. We've posted that link very many time. And I also mentioned a wonderful book by Erica Chenoweth called Civil Resistance. And one of the things they talk about is one of the things that that 5051 really focused on is that even if only 3.5% of the population gets out, that can be enough to really turn things.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. That's one of the things I like so much about the No Kings stuff. Even if this is like your first time ever going out or being a part of a movement, you will find people there in organizations with something that's important to you that you care about, and it's a great networking opportunity, and it's a great starter point into this world of making your community better and safer, all those wonderful things that we're talking about.
Wonderful. Thank you, Brian. So, caller, welcome. Hi.
Hi, Vicki. It's Mike Hogan.
Hi, Mike. I'm so glad you're on, and you're the one. So I don't know how much you heard of of anything, but we did lay out the basic thing. So I want to introduce Mike Hogan. Is business manager, secretary, and treasurer of the Painters Union, right?
You nailed it. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Covering a lot of territory. And also is the head of the logistics committee in Buffalo United Coalition, which is the coalition that is organizing the rally. So thank you for calling, Mike.
You're welcome.
So what would you want people to know about the rally and about the reasons for the rally? Just what's really what drives you for this? And we're so grateful for your collaboration and all your work on this.
Oh, well, it's just I feel like it's my responsibility and my duty. I've got kids, and as the leader of this union, workers that rely on standard of living, collective bargaining rights, the future of this country. I mean, it's just huge. You can't overstate how important it is to get out and advocate for our freedom, our Constitution, our future. I mean, all of us are pretty much appalled at what we see, and it's getting worse and worse by the day. So the rally really is just the first rally was really just to get people out in the streets because we were all angry about a variety of topics, any given thing that he's attacking daily.
Yes.
But now it's morphed into more of a how can we activate and engage all these people, so if we're fortunate to have thousands of people there, what are we going to do with this, though? What are our next steps?
Right.
Are we even going to? We need to start preparing for these things, like not just another rally beyond this, but what are we going to do if this happens or if that happens? Or I think everybody who's a safe bet to say he's going to try to impede the election in November. We don't know how exactly. He may do any number of things, but nothing is beyond him. He would do anything to stop this election or steal this election, and we have to be aware of that, and we have to be prepared. Like, what are we going to do? Is it we're all getting, if he tries to grab ballot boxes like we've seen him do a test run for, if he sends ICE and military to polling places to intimidate and turn people away, if there's a finger quote terrorist attack on U.S. soil a week before the election and he tries to suspend the election for national emergency, which we've never done in the Civil War, World War I, World War II, we've just never done it.
Right.
We're not going to allow it to happen. He will try it. He will try everything. So we have to do these scenarios. Well, what will we do if this happens?
Right.
And is it going to be enough to just everybody get in buses and go to D.C. and have 20, 30 million people gridlocking D.C., protesting in D.C. peacefully? Is that enough? Is it going to take we need to start talking about these things, like shut the whole country down economically.
Right. Well, I want
to happen in Europe a lot with national strikes and stuff of that nature.
So there is a call for a national strike for May 1st. I just wanted to mention that too. So, and thank you for that. Now, let me ask you too. Now, there's going to be tabling of different organizations, right?
Correct. There's going to be different groups there handing out literature. As always, we've got voter registration. The League of Women Voters is there.
Of course. Mm-hmm.
And again, we want to have a way to direct people to a variety of different wonderful groups that all do amazing work that we need in this moment, and each with their own little flair and their own little angle that they use. So there's a lot of opportunity for people to get involved. This rally, we were kind of saying, we've had very, very good turnout at other rallies. So if you've gone before, thank you. Please show up and please bring one more person. If everybody can show up with one extra, we can really make some noise.
And if you can use public transportation to get there, that wouldn't be a bad idea either, because at a certain point, parking does get difficult, although there are all the ramps and things like that. The other thing I wanted to say is the Western New York Peace Center. Now, we thankfully have Power to the People, which I already mentioned, which was the original starting point for the No Kings 50-51 rallies that were the beginning of the No Kings movement. We are providing like 70 peacekeepers that we've trained well over 100 peacekeepers, more like, I'm going to say somewhere between 175 or even 200 now. But we'll have at least 70 peacekeepers there. So I don't know if we're going to have, we're just going to see if we can also accommodate the tabling too. But the Western New York Peace Center, and I want to say so many community groups, so many great groups. And the big thing to me, one of the big things, is that this has really brought labor and community groups together in a way really that I haven't seen before, and that has been so wonderful. So we've sort of worked in that direction and tried to do more of that, but it's really happening on another scale now because of just the intensity of the danger.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's actually in a good way. That's kind of a silver lining we can look at. When we're all under attack.
What do we do? Stand up, fight back.
Yeah, absolutely. We band together and we fight back.
Yes.
It's not just a chant; it's a lifestyle.
Yeah, it is, and it's not just fighting. It is not fighting. It's a nonviolent rally. However, it is. We are in the struggle. And some of the people, I want to say this too, because especially when you mentioned the color of something, and I thought, yes, let's talk about that, is that there are a lot of people who've been under attack right along, who have suffered so mightily in this society, in this country, from our government-sponsored violence or just general community violence. So people of color, indigenous people, certainly Black people who were enslaved and brought over here and then been treated with all the racism that we've had in our society, as that we've struggled to change that. Well, now that everyone's under attack, people who've been under attack right along, it's like, oh, welcome. People can say, welcome to our world. So it's happening. But we are, when one of us is hurt, we're all hurt. And that's where we really, back to the silver lining is people are just banding together in an unprecedented way. And we just need to help people understand who don't understand what's going on, because some people have drunk the Kool-Aid, and they do, if they get their news from the especially from the more the Fox News and whatever, they're not getting the real news. They're getting the lies, unadulterated lies, without even any contest, and mainstream media is largely the same.
Yeah, always remember that there's trillions and trillions of dollars being spent to trick your neighbors into going along with this. So just keep that in mind, and try to keep that in mind, and try to be forgiving and understanding if they've been wrapped up in this. I mean, the average human really is not prepared for the level of propaganda we're getting on a daily basis. I'm not surprised people fall for it, as sad as it is. Also, About the trying to postpone or cancel the election outright, I do agree with you 100% that something is going to be tried, but I do take a little bit of encouragement in how incompetent this man really is, and how much he's surrounded himself with other incompetent yes men. So while I don't doubt for even a moment he's going to try it, it's, as he would say, too big to rig, and the power of the people will overcome any shenanigans that he tries to act in November.
What do you think, Mike?
I think we all got to turn out.
Yes,
Absolutely.
we have to turn out.
Turn out for the rallies, turn out for vote, turn out for any action that we can to show how dissatisfied we are with this
Yes.
administration.
And just connecting with the different groups, or any lots of people are already involved in a group and lots of people aren't. But there's, come on board one way or another, and part of it is, yes, talk to your neighbors, talk to your family, talk to people, and talk to people who don't agree with you. Listen, and then, find those commonalities, because they will exist. And so we just keep working towards that communication and cooperation that we need to get where we need to go. And I think this whole rally, one of the reasons why, actually, you missed where Brian was just talking about really what a almost joyous kind of, feeling you get in the rally, surrounded by like-minded people and all the inspiration that is there, to share. That really helps people, have the courage and the impetus and the means to continue. So anyway, well, thanks so much for calling, Mike. I know you in your busy schedule. I'm so glad that you were able to squeeze us in, and all the work you're doing to make it happen. You really, I'm just grateful for you.
Well, I'm glad to be here. It's my pleasure, and I look forward to seeing you and everybody else Saturday morning.
Excellent. Yes, it'll be everything it needs to be, and then onward.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot, Vicki.
Thanks so much, Mike. You take care. We'll see you then. Okay. Bye for now. So that was a great call to get, and he really...
Yeah, Mike's great.
He is. He's so great. Actually, I've been on... I don't think we've... Oh, yes, we did. We have had him on the radio show before. So, friend of the show. We're just so glad that he's been on the show. I also was on What's Next with him on WBFO. So,
that's a great program, yeah.
Yeah, that is a great program. So our friends at WBFO, so they are another group that's struggling mightily because of all the misguided,
over $2 million a year was taken away.
Yeah,
clawed back $2 million a year.
Outrageous, and this is for public broadcasting, for the good of the people. So back to the people, the interests of the people are being trashed. Money is being taken from health care, from children's school lunches, from every kind of thing, from our tax base to give tax breaks to millionaires and to pay all kinds of – and to spend $1 billion a day on this crazy war. $1 billion a day. Now, I wish I had the memory to quote you exactly what that would pay for, but one of the things is it would pay for everybody in this country to have free higher education, for one thing. Absolutely. I mean, there was thing after thing. When I was reading, think about $1 billion a day. So they never say, "Oh, can't afford it. Sorry, no, we're not attacking. No, we're not putting more people on the police force. Can't afford it." Never. So it's Fear Inc. I feel like a broken record. I'm always saying this on the show. The Fear Inc., which is the efforts to control, intimidate, incarcerate, or even kill. We can always pay for that. We always have enough money. We never say, "Oh, no, sorry, too expensive." We could do that. But then we can't pay for health care, pay
Right.
for public education,
Pay for the national debt.
pay for national get pay for the public broadcasting.
Right.
Well, also, Trump has made this SAVE Act. He said he's not signing any more legislation until the SAVE Act gets signed up, and that's you need a birth certificate to register to vote.
That
stuff.
voter suppression tactic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the $200 billion, which is 1/4 of the Pentagon's entire budget that he's asking Congress for, can't be signed into the budget because he said
good.
he's not going to pass anything until the SAVE Act gets passed. And that also applies to ICE not getting funded and DHS not being funded. So that's kind of what I was getting in with Mike. I mean, he's constantly backing himself into these corners.
Right.
He really is. He's flying by the seat of his pants. He's no idea what he's going to say tomorrow. We have no idea what he's going to say tomorrow, and as scary as that is for us, like it is starting to the house of cards is starting to tumble. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, $200 billion is the entirety of what we've sent Ukraine, and that's been going on for how long? 5 years now. I mean, and then you have the nerve to get on television and say that we're winning.
Yeah.
And we're not even winning. We've already won. It's already over.
Sure.
I mean, it's completely ridiculous through and through.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Define winning. What is this winning you're speaking of, Mr. President?
Is the winning in the room with us?
I don't
Right.
know.
Right.
Was it Charlie Sheen who started it too much? You know?
Winning.
Yeah.
And
is
it's
too
another
much.
example of it's
too
not what you're talking about.
Right.
That's not what it is. So it's just sad. And, he's always saying about sad. Well, it is sad and scary and outrageous. Outrageous. So when you think about the $200 billion, that is the additional money that they want for the Pentagon has never been able to pass an audit. The amount of slush fund, the amount of wasted, I want to quote Eisenhower. He was a general. He was a conservative. And he said, beware the military-industrial complex. And what we have instead is it is a fire. Mm-hmm. It is rampant. It is the money that's going, and it's not even just back to it's government-sponsored violence. I want to see these government agents with guns. People would say, oh, well, do you think we don't need an army or we don't need any police?
Of course
That's not what we're talking about.
Right.
We have such an outrageous, ever-growing, it's like a cancer, because cancer, the cells are multiplying at an unhealthy rate of some kind of cell. Well, this is about, if we have a small, a couple of, England, for years, their police were not armed.
Right.
We have been in love with guns for some crazy reason, and so it's gotten so crazy with the amount of arming and everything else. Just go ahead, Brian.
I was just making reference to what men tend to be overcompensating.
Is that where you were going? Yes, that's true. That's true. Because they want to find some kind of power, some kind of way to prove to be powerful, I suppose.
Yep.
All their big power that they want to have, it's just so ridiculous. $200 billion for a war of choice that is hurting everyone. And as far as helping the Iranian people, was that a brutal, terrible regime? Yes. Is it deposed? No.
Nope.
No. It's, if anything, it's at least as strong or stronger than ever. And who's paying? Well, besides us, we're paying with financially, but the Iranian people are dying. They're being displaced? I mean, they're suffering. They're maimed. And the Iranian people are suffering like mad. Actually, I called an Iranian friend of mine who's very, very, very active, and we have been very active with the Women, Life, Freedom movement that was for, freedom in Iran. They're not happy.
No,
they're not good. This is just just tragedy upon tragedy.
Yeah, and we're I think 24 hours away from the ultimatum Trump gave Iran, where he's going to start bombing power plants.
Right.
And I can only imagine that the regime is like saying, like, "Oh, thank you, save us save us the ammunition. Like, yeah,
Right.
attack our civilian population for us. Like, that's gonna. I'm sure they're gonna blame us for that. You know, I mean, it's basically
Right.
handing them all the insurance they would need to continue the war.
Yep.
Because as brutal as you said the regime is, there's nothing that gets people to support any type of regime like another country attacking them.
Right. Right.
And this is a style point, for lack of a better word. What I'm tired of is any media leading the story with gas prices are higher. It's like, do I care about gasoline price? Well, sure, on a very, very low level. It should always be the human toll first,
Right.
and maybe even the human toll only. Who cares? I'm not going to say who cares. I'm going to say I don't care about hearing about the increased gasoline prices, which will, of course, will impact food delivery and this and the other thing. So yes, everything is going to be more expensive. Okay, fine, we'll deal with that. But the human toll, I think, needs to be front and center.
I want to mention, I just mentioned this yesterday, the Kellogg's Briand Act of 1927-28, which made war illegal. And war is illegal even without that, because the attacking a civilian population or doing mass punishment is illegal under international law. So it is illegal what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's been totally illegal. It's been a war of aggression, of choice, and everything else. I want to give a shout out about Cuba. Now, I went to Cuba with Pastors for Peace, and I met Miguel Canel Soto, the president there, and when he was asked by a young man, he said, "Oh well, there's all this activity and this is 2019, change going on all over the world, and for revolution, people are ready for revolution. Now, you could be Cuba can be a leader in that. What do you want? What do you want? What should they know?" And he said, "I hope they don't make the mistakes that we made." That man won me over like mad, because that is what we need: humility,
Yep.
an attitude, and that is the country that we're going that we're victimizing, that we have been steadily victimizing ever since the revolution, because we are little babies, and our foreign policy is dictated by babies and by grudges and by money, of course. Money.
Oh, yeah,
I know
absolutely.
money is always in there too, and so. God bless Code Pink that just took a whole bunch of people over there, and I wish I was one of them, I can say. But we're busy here too.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, the Cuban people do not deserve this, because that's the other thing. It's about people. So it's the people who are suffering. So you're making innocent people suffer. It's back to what you said, Greg. It's about people suffering for no reason of their own making. They didn't do anything wrong, and they are being bombed, victimized, deprived of, comfort of the basic necessities of life. It is such an outrage. I do want to remind people, it is a call-in show, but we have plenty to say, so
Sure.
we don't need you to call in, but we'd love for you to call in. Yeah,
Right.
716-878-5104. 716-878-5104.
And it's not a plea for financial support either, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
We don't do that here.
No, it's not that. No, it's not that. No, I know when you keep saying that phone number. No. Although do think, yes, we
The
love our
NPR
friends in
pledge or something.
NPR and
Right.
WBFO. We do love them too.
Right.
But no, this is nothing like that. This
Yep.
is just your opportunity. And actually, we're coming along to the end of the show.
Yeah. That was a quick hour.
So, yeah, oh my God.
but we
it
still have time
certainly
for another
was.
call if anybody
We
wants to call in.
We do. If
Please
you're
do.
quick.
Yeah, we'll give you the full 5 minutes.
Oh, okay. Although I'll take the last, half a minute,
Right.
or the last half, 10 seconds or something. But I really just see so much suffering that's going on, and in Palestine, in Israel, in Lebanon. all hell has broken loose with this war of choice and aggression, which is illegal, immoral, completely foolhardy and dangerous, a threat towards nuclear war, nuclear weapons use.
You get a hothead pushing that button,
and
it's all over.
And we have we have hotheads. We know we do, and one of them is our biggest problem. That is why we have the no kings point to make in the first place, and also totally criminal. It is totally criminal.
Well, it's also it's not even just our hotheads we have to worry about now. Anyone of Iranian descent who is rightfully indignant about what's going on in this country could, get a hold of something and do damage in the name of it just for that. And I don't know about you, but I don't feel more safe knowing that. And
well, except that the Iranian, I want to say that the Ayatollah that was killed had a fatwa against nuclear weapons development. So they were not on the road they were not doing it. And that had been verified time and again by international independent, the International Atomic Energy Agency had verified, and our own intelligence had verified that they were not doing that.
Well, that and Donald Trump went around 8 months ago saying that he completely and totally obliterated their nuclear facilities.
Right. Then there's that. So it was just so nonsensical.
So where's the threat that they had to meet?
Yeah, right.
It's not there.
The only thing about war is that for the weapons, you know what I say? All wars are lost. That's what Women in Black has. We have a sign, all wars are lost. But the only ones who benefit, who really benefit, are the weapons manufacturers, because the thing is, if you don't use the bombs, you don't need to buy more.
Yep.
So somehow it seems that our administrations, plural, have been happy to keep that going. So we've got that as a danger. Now, I just know I want to give you
there's
final word.
Moog right here in Western New York. They get college kids right from the area developing and creating weapons. And it's sold as like a jobs program.
Right.
More to follow from that. And so I think we're on the winding up end of the show. So thank you for bringing that up, and there's more to follow there. We certainly want to, just tell your elected officials, our elected officials, just how much you want to see, peace, protection of our rights, not following the SAVE Act and not passing these crazy the $200 billion that Trump wants for this war of choice and aggression, this illegal war. Any final bottom line to you?
Bottom line, No Kings Saturday is a great place to meet like-minded and inspiring human beings who all want to make their country and neighborhood safer. That is a great introduction into an organization that you can find of a topic or subject that you're passionate about and want to dedicate some time to, and to meet your neighbors, which, as hokey as it sounds, I can't tell you how much information is not being passed by the news media and is being passed word to mouth by neighbors. I've told several people that ICE's headquarters is downtown. A lot of people really don't know that, and I've told my entire workplace about it the other day.
Right. And Greg?
I'll just jump on top of that and say, yep, get out and participate if you can. Unfortunately, I'm going to be out of town, so I won't be able to be here, but I'll be looking for the news coverage and checking out the Western New York Peace Center website for coverage of what transpired. And
this is just one day, so there's plenty of other times and days. If you can't make it, that's okay. Still be calling our electeds, telling them what you want, what you don't want. We're so grateful. I'm so grateful for both of you here, for all of you who are listening out there, and I know you were listening. Next time, maybe you want to call in. It's not that scary. Anyway, we've been talking peace, and this is talking peace, and we've been talking peace in truth and love.